Look at this graph. How the hell do we wind up like this? And why weren't we able to see the signs that we missed? And try to turn the tables. I wish you'd unclench your fists and unpack your suitcase lately.
No Nickelback music. Okay, fine. Fine. There have been some interesting developments in the US with the Security Exchange Commission. There have been some interesting developments in the US with the SEC. But more importantly, I have a new mic stand. It allows me to go out into the woods like this, and explore the beauty of nature. Wow. So the SEC was cracking down hard on an ICO called Blockvest, claiming the tokens that they sold were unregistered securities. Give back all the money to your creditors or pay us a fine. Blockvest did not immediately capitulate and challenge the ruling. So this sets a big precedent for future ICOs. They went to the Federal Court of Law in California, and they ultimately rejected the claims of the SEC, claiming it wasn't unregistered securities that they sold, and gave a sort of detailed roadmap at what an ICO has to do in order for it to be deemed a security. Some of those requirements are listed here. I will leave this linked below if you want to have a read through it for yourself. My opinion though on the whole matter is, who runs an ICO from the US anymore? You are just asking for trouble. And most companies know this. It isn't hard to set up your business from Singapore. You can basically do it all online, no problems. So why risk it? The current questionable nature of the law, which isn't exactly helped by this new ruling, it's still, what did this guy say? Going to be more complex, I think, than any of us realized and gets lost in the world of ICOs. The current US climate for ICOs is basically a blanket ban, all but a blanket ban for ICOs. The risk of recrediting everyone that invested into the ICO is too great and has been for many years now. So whatever, I don't think it's that interesting, but there you go. Moving on to the next piece of news today, again, involving the SEC, my personal favorite governmental branch. Love you guys. Members of VanEck, SolidX, and the CBOE BZX Exchange met with US Securities and Exchange Commission staff earlier this week to present a new argument on why the Bitcoin market is ready for an exchange-traded fund. I can't get my words out today. ETF. I believe that those are all physically delivered products, which is important to know why. Just watch my video from yesterday about the damage paper Bitcoins can cause. The argument they make on why it should be approved is a clever one, maybe the best one that they could make, but far from true, maybe. We'll take this for example. They argued that the Bitcoin ecosystem is less susceptible to manipulation than other commodities, which already support exchange-traded products. To back that claim up, they say, for example, insiders can't trade on the knowledge, let's say in the gold market, a new gold vein opens up. Before that knowledge becomes public, they can trade on it. Sadly, manipulation is far easier than that for Bitcoin.
On September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks, people listen. People listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. In January 24th, price was already down, calls Bitcoin a bubble, says Bitcoin is the worst, the worst investment in the world. Don't buy Bitcoin. Don't buy Bitcoin. Basically throws gasoline on the fire at this point. And then what do we find out? So he says bubble here.
It drops 44%.
Right. And then here in April, 2 months later, guess what we find out? His $26 billion family office has approval to buy cryptocurrency.
Right.
But good luck to you fellas. Godspeed. We are all counting on you to lift our heavy, heavy bags. Lastly, let's move on to some Ethereum news. As though they watched my video on what coins I'm buying right now, noticed I wasn't going to buy any Ethereum, and went into full panic mode. They're discussing intermediate scaling solutions that can be implemented before the big ones like sharding, which isn't expected until 2020. Maybe. Dubbed Ethereum 1x, Dubbed Ethereum 1x, the devs have outlined several possibilities but haven't landed on a particular one. I will leave this linked below in case you want to read through some of the proposals. None of them are too major though. That's about it for the news. Looking at the markets generally, it seems that Bitcoin has held support at 4,000 quite well. We got within like $3 of it on aggregate. It's 4K, the new 6K. That's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for the support. And I'll see you again soon.